Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of some ages this time, we are UnpopuLAR Review Entertainment, and we are having once again another marvelous Thursday. You know why? Because this is the last, this is the latest, this is the final review of the Blade trilogy series, and we are reviewing Blade Trinity. This is UnpopuLAR Review. I am Freckle Sensei, and this is the Wolfpack Trio.
Faced their gods. Then he battled their demons. But all that was only the beginning.
He's come back.
Vampire final solution.
You can't win this war alone.
Who the hell are you people?
My father meant for us to help you.
Whistler's daughter. What the hell makes you think you know about hunting vampires?
Just for starters, I used to be one.
Blade Trinity.
There's nothing stopping them now.
It's me.
Tonight's broadcast has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am, National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood.
All right, the war between humans and vampires continues, but the humans' best hope is human-vampire hybrid warrior Blade. Has been framed for countless murders, turning popular sentiment against him. The vampire leader responsible for Blade's bad publicity is Danica Talos, who's determined to finally lead her bloodthirsty compatriots to victory. Now, Blade must team up with a band of rogue vampire hunters to save humanity. Fellas, this came out when I would like to say the coming of Freckle Sensei, because this came out when I was 14. I was smelling myself. I was feeling myself. I thought I wasn't doing none of that stuff. I was being trash as a nerdy geeky guy, but you get the feel, you get the understanding. I'm 14 years old at this time. This came out in December 8th, 2004, and the director was David S. Goyer. Fellas, how did y'all feel about this movie? What was your favorite moment and favorite scene? I would let actually this time Mike go first. I think you're on mute.
I wish we were in a wrestling studio, because I would have something to play right here where my tribal chief, acknowledge him, would say, trash. Like, and I don't trash movies. Y'all know that. I people say I like everything. I'm like, when it comes to you, Vic, I don't give nothing a bad. Something gotta really suck, right?
Yeah,
like Force Awakenings. It wasn't so bad.
Like Starship Troopers.
I love Starship.
I love Starship.
That movie is so crap.
I wish we would have did that movie, because I don't get you to ever give a thumbs down. So I wish we would have did that movie. But watching this film, it wasn't the action, right? That's going to be there. It's a Blade movie. Right. It wasn't the action. It wasn't. It wasn't Blade being Blade, because Blade was being Blade in this movie. I talked about last week how it was. It was Triple H. It was the cast. It was the fact that this movie cost $65 million and made 52 in America. Damn. Okay. Damn. I have a problem where all of a sudden now I get Ryan Reynolds. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gabriel Hannibal King. Right. Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm mad that this movie gave me who should have really been Elektra. Right. Was she Elektra? I always wondered, was Whistler's daughter Elektra, Jessica Biel? Was she Elektra? She wasn't. She was supposed to be Elektra.
No, she was.
No.
She like
this was what you call it.
Yeah, she's Whistler's daughter, Abigail Whistler, right? But
wait, wasn't she like in a? I want to say it's Party of Five. I think that's why she was so. Because I remember her being.
No, she's Seventh Heaven.
Seventh Heaven. That's what.
Yeah,
because I remember her being.
Seventh Heaven.
I remember her being like a key character at that time. I just remember seeing her face
stuff too
a lot.
But I just look, and yes, the movie. I don't know. I said during Blade 2 that I think that the stories got weaker and weaker and weaker going from 1, 2 to 3. And again, I love 2. There's 2. The story of 2 just isn't as strong as the first one to me. Just in my opinion, still a good movie nonetheless. When you get to this one, you're like, okay, another deity. This one's supposed to be the real Dracula.
Right.
If you're the real Dracula, then how do you explain the face augmentations that came from the disease from Blade 2?
Exactly.
From them mutating and them trying on everything. You have a Pomeranian that has this. I don't get. I mean, if you're the real,
yeah, Dracula, that was wild.
I'm a fan of the TV series, which scares me, called True Blood, that my wife watches, and I think that's the ultimate way to show you how a badass vampire does badass things. Right? Hannibal King says I was a vampire, right? And I get how Blade has this thing to cure people, right? That's how he killed Whistler.
Yeah.
But when Triple H was interrogating and they're whooping his ass, they wasn't whooping his ass like he was a vampire, because the vampires kick ass, right? That's just what they did. They're strong. They're without favor,
right?
And I just didn't get this. I didn't get Parker Posey. I've always liked her look when I saw her in Scream 3 for the first time, but it just didn't work for me with her. Also, this movie just didn't work for me. Special effects was worse than it was in the second one. The fight scenes was not as good. Blade is literally fighting Dracula.
Yeah, and it's not.
And he's going toe for toe with him. I gotta say it. I'm sorry.
Damn, Pat Knowles, what was in this too? I forgot about that. Damn.
Vic, your thoughts while you work?
Everything was cool. Everything was cool in this movie. I mean, it was a reach. I'll tell you that much. It was a great fucking reach. Like,
hell of a reach.
Because with Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel just being the kids of this guy, number one, they should have just called these 3 movies Whistler, because like I feel like a lot of it was just surrounded around him.
God, that was horrible. That looked horrible.
But then at the same time, the other reason why I say reach is because like they're transitioning on the CGI here, and I guess looking back, it kind of looks cheesy now. I mean, it's certainly better than like Superman 4, but you know, some of
it's a lot of movie, aren't you? She's gonna keep picking on that movie.
A lot of things are better than
Superman 4. Come on, bro. The
I mean, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Listen, this is why I think of Superman worse. When I think about Christopher Reeve's worse, I think about the kick that Superman did in Superman 2 when he just, that was also 1978. You know what I mean?
No, I'm talking about Superman 4.
I know you're talking about that was 1987.
87.
So
that one was probably I wouldn't even put that as the worst. I don't think I said that was the worst. I think 3.
But one thing I just noticed in this one, I don't know. I felt like the CGI was just kind of weird. I mean, like the whole thing just seemed like a money grab. I mean, they got their box office. They got like 130 million in total. So they definitely got their money back, but it seems like they spent a lot of money on the actors, right? Because there's some big name people in here, a lot more than in the other 2 movies outside of Wesley Snipes, right? Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel and Triple H, and they definitely spend money on this whole thing.
My girl from American Pie was in here too. The blind girl, Summerfield.
Yeah,
thank you.
In this movie,
you know what I mean? Like this was definitely a thing when my point is that there was high anticipation for this.
Absolutely.
And they flop. Yeah.
Nasty. So every money grab is not worth it if it flops.
Not all the time. No, because clearly 2 did a good job. Right. So then there's still demand for the character. But the thing is that even after this, the demand for the character continues.
Still going.
Yeah. And high demand.
And
exactly.
very high demand now.
Exactly.
But,
so
another fun fact is the fact that there was a lawsuit right after this.
Interesting.
Yeah. Snipes, Wesley Snipes sued New Line Cinema and Goyer about the fact that they didn't really get paid like that.
Did
he win the lawsuit?
It doesn't say that he won.
You know why?
It's probably NDAs. You probably
why? Exactly. You know why he didn't win that lawsuit?
But then again, the next year he got sued.
You know why?
Why?
Because I said this plenty of times, right? So the lawsuit, he did have a file against them. All right. It was, and then of course he goes for tax evasion, as we know for sure, right? But the Trinity lawsuit claims that Snipes and New Line Cinema directors, executive producer Tony Emmerich, claiming that there was violated in their contract. So here's the thing, and it's what you pretty much said. They get paid up front. We talked about this a couple of episodes ago, right? Vic, you and I, they don't get unless it's their licensing on a toy, like facial image and things like that, right? Look at my guy, Terrence Howard. When they play It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp and those songs from that movie, they don't go to Terrence Howard. You know why? Because who performed the songs?
It was
anybody know? DJ. He said this. That DJ is on the act one, as his name is the one to do it. That's how they get you. You got to watch your contract. I can't blame him. I'm sorry. It's like we talk about Rock and Black Adam. I can't blame Rock for taking the money they threw at his ass. It ain't his fault he fucked up the franchise and single-handedly killed the DCU. But I digress. I'm sorry.
DCU,
that's kind of far to go.
DCU was fucked after Justice League. So let's keep it a buck there. Once they did not release the Snyderverse of Justice League, it was already fucked. It was already bad. But
I'm gonna let you let that go because BVS and Man of Steel are two of the greatest movies of all time, and so is the Snyder cut of Justice League. Yeah,
the Snyder cut. If they had put out the Snyder cut of Justice League,
well, my fab, they let a Marvel guy come over and infiltrate the rest of that movie. Think it was gonna be better, and he Wizard of Oz did.
It was terrible. Justice League was terrible.
It's not terrible.
Speaking of terrible movies,
I didn't like Flash either, did you?
I haven't seen Flash. I still got to see it.
I enjoyed it. Don't you worry. I enjoyed it. Watch it. I enjoyed it too. But everybody wants to say that movie sucks. That movie does not suck.
I can't say it sucked.
It has some questionable CGI. That's what they do.
Very. But I can't say it sucked. That's literally just Barry's stick. He always wants to go back. He always wants to and he just can't. I guess that's why people said it probably sucked because it was just Flashpoint all over again. But
oh yeah, that's what they say. It was flat. Oh shit, we probably talking about Blade. So what happened here?
Anyway, speaking of terrible shit, Blade 3. And you know,
message.
This is my message. I'm trying my hardest not to laugh so much because what I'm about to say is about to be so bad that I'm definitely clipping this. If Thor: The Dark World never existed, this probably would have been the worst Marvel movie of all time. This was probably would have been the worst Marvel movie of all time if Thor: The Dark World did not exist.
We counting Marvel, no matter who studios they had at part of it.
No, say that back. I say that back because Fantastic Four was trash.
Which Fantastic Four?
The one with Michael B. Jordan. That was terrible.
Trash.
That was terrible. The storyline was bad. Now the acting wasn't bad to me, but the storyline of it and everything.
Michael B. Jordan's haircut in there was bad. That was a bad haircut. Yeah, in that movie.
That was but
next to Thor: Dark World, this is the worst or up there for the worst.
It's up
Marvel, no matter what studio it has. I don't know. You got Apocalypse.
I didn't think Apocalypse was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. All right, you're right.
I thought it was misguided.
Okay, I didn't like the choices of Storm and whatnot.
Yes, I didn't like the choice of Storm either, and that was my biggest gripe. But yeah, like
I'm trying to think of other Marvel movies.
X-Men 3.
X3 is up there.
X3 is
Juggernaut, bitch. Best part of that movie.
That was like probably one of the best parts of that whole movie. Anyway,
it's up there. It's definitely in the top 10 for sure of worst Marvel films.
It is. We may have to. We might have to do something that the wrestling side do, and we might have to do our own top 5 one day because
that's a good idea.
Yeah, This was bad. This was bad. The acting.
So I'm sorry. Are we proposing a Marvel movies top 5 draft?
That's not a bad idea.
That's a great idea. Let's take it from
I
review wrestling side and bring it over here. Guess what, y'all? Stolen. That's going to be a show we're coming up with. We're going to talk about this off air. Let's go. We're going to have a Marvel draft, y'all. Top 5 Marvel or superhero movies.
Well, we've done Superman.
We've done this. It was all right. So
y'all have done
a lot of Marvel around here. Big nose. He does a lot of Marvel.
I would say.
I say top 5 Marvel.
That
means that Justice League stuff out of it, and if somebody like myself would actually be just a homer and put Man of Steel just because it's Superman. So
Man of Steel was really good.
But it's Superman for me. So no matter what, it's like
it's good.
Right. So it'll be a top 5 draft, and I'll be like, I got Man of Steel, and I think I won the competition when somebody picked X-Men 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know what I'm saying? Or Avengers 1, 2, 3.
That is wild.
It's so bad, audience, that we started talking about something else.
This is how bad this movie was.
We're going to take a break, get ourselves back together, and talk about Blade 3 Trinity, because you're here to watch the Blade 3 review and what we thought about it, but you kind of already know. But we got other shows right here that are kind of better than this movie. We'll be right back.
You were class of 94?
Okay, yes.
I was class of 2000.
Okay, we don't have to share that information.
I was a 90s kid.
And get the jukebox.
You play a significant part of it. Okay, let's go.
Well, if you'd have did your part of it, do that part. It might have been in the notes.
I just missed that one thing. It's okay, baby.
It's in the cliff notes. Of course, in the 90s, it's going to be rival crews. That's what's going on. It's New York. It's inner city. If you're not from the ghetto, ain't never been to the ghetto, then don't ever come to the ghetto because you wouldn't understand the ghetto. Grateful ass creatures. We ain't going to call them bitches. We're going to call them ungrateful creatures.
It's just I hate to say it, it's just a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, I did feminize it. Because he act like, you acting like a bitch, Ronnie. See? Because Lulu punk ass. Listen, so let's go right there. Let's go. So Lulu.
I didn't do that, though.
You did. I saw you. You did the DX shot.
I said bring it.
Oh, well.
I did that.
Okay. I will. Okay. All right.
And that was the Millie Blaze show that you can always see here on UPR Entertainment, one of the best shows that captures all of the Power Universe and their own Raising Kanan. Unfortunately for me, because I'm tired of paying so many goddamn subscriptions, I don't have stars, but I am going to.
Hold on. If I got stars, you got stars. Next question.
You better get on Android.
I'm tired of this shit. Listen, I got an iPhone and I still get all that stuff. So I ain't trying to hear that stuff, Vic. It don't make me Android.
You don't got a side loader. You don't have to do nothing. You got to download an APK.
I got to do none of that.
You better put it on your Fire Stick.
I got to do none of that. You're going back to iPhone 10 years ago, buddy. There's nothing your phone can do. My phone cannot do.
What are you talking about? Your phone doesn't have a
ringtone very easily.
First of all, pull a stylus out your phone.
This is giving anything you can do. I can do.
I don't need a stylus in my phone.
Exactly. You know what you don't need.
But they have a stylus for iPhone, though. I just don't have one for myself.
You know what you don't need. You're going to use what they give you.
No, I got what I need, and I get what I want.
You know what
New
you
York.
don't need. You're going to use what they give you, because it's always about whatever.
All right.
Give you, right?
Anyway, this is how y'all know how bad this movie was, because we was like we're really trying to find a way to say everything but how sucked this movie is. But anyway,
so we got into an iOS versus Android argument.
But anyway, back to Blade Trinity. Y'all's final thoughts. I'm gonna go with Vic right now, so we can stop talking about this abomination of a movie. But
abomination! Oh God, there it is. Wrestling
oriented. Like, look, you know what? Honestly, I'll give them an A for their effort, because they reached. This was a money grab. They reached, and it wasn't necessarily the best story. Ryan Reynolds, I love seeing Ryan Reynolds because he's just hilarious everywhere, no matter what he does. You know what I mean? So, but then,
hello, my name is Bucky.
Yeah, and as a wrestling fan, clearly I marked out to see Triple H in the movie. and things like that. So like I was entertained to a certain point, but when the bad part is that when you compare it to the other two movies, it just doesn't hit. That's just the truth, you know. But I still give it a thumbs up because they definitely put in a good effort.
Well, because it hasn't been played, and it rhymes with Blade. And I'm Mike Knox.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am.
I still give it a thumbs up as well. As bad as I do not like this film and everything you said, Vic, I will echo the storyline, this, that, and the third. But it was the ending of the trilogy. It is the movie. It's still I always ask myself, what am I going to the movies? Am I going to the movies that have every movie I watch give me something so great like watching The Usual Suspects storyline wise? No, I'm going to see this movie not because of the storyline. I'm going to see this movie for entertainment purposes. Did it give me that? Did Ryan Reynolds do what Ryan Reynolds always does? This is why I'm okay with everybody thinking about him with Deadpool. He will always have been and will always be to me Van fucking Wilder. The guy said I ate some garlic and I farted. Oh, it's kind of silent. Did you smell that? It's kind of deadly. There's the things that Ryan Reynolds does. So it gave me that, right? It gave me Jessica Biel. Sorry, guys. Nice ass. She's in a movie. I'm watching it. It's Jessica Biel, Seventh Heaven. And it's still Blade being Blade. Yes, it was dumb storyline wise, but it was a good time had, and I enjoyed it. 100% thumbs up for me, despite saying it's one of the worst Marvel movies they've made since Thor Dark World.
Well, everybody knows my take on this. I'm getting this the finger because God dang it. You had my hopes up. You had my hopes up at the Blade 2. And then you put Triple H in it. Me being a wrestling fan growing up really young into the Attitude Era and then going into transcending into the Ruthless Aggression era, and I'm in my matriculation phases. Of course, I went crazy when I knew that Triple H was going to be in this movie. I was like, oh shoot, yes. And it was like, no. Like the only good part that I enjoyed out of this movie was the intro, and it was the knives and fire. After that, it felt like Target stock after black people started boycotting that shit. It just kept going down.
How do you know what my dick looks like? To the point that old girl said, can we stop talking about dicks? It had funny moments, man. I'm sorry, it did.
It had funny moments, but
you're gonna get off the King of Kings, Triple H, on your knees, dog. Oh, he gave the dark thumb down too. Wow, he gave him the dark one.
Like I just can't do it. This movie let me down so bad. This movie let me down so bad. The like I can't judge the cinematography of it. I can't judge the CGI stuff because 2004 was 2004. It is what it is. But thank God that 4 years later, and I feel like this is what started this whole MCU is dead, MCU is alive, MCU is dead, MCU is alive, is that Marvel will put out one movie and it doesn't do great, and everybody's like, oh my God, Marvel is dead. And then they put out a masterpiece. And what was that masterpiece 4 years later after this? Iron Man. So
I just got to stop you here because I got to be who I am. This is not a Marvel movie. Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm meaning when Marvel got their own right. But we can't. But y'all don't call Spider-Man Marvel movies when they're on Sony. It's not a Marvel movie.
But that's a Marvel character.
That's all it is. It's like they gave Michael Bay Transformers. Right? I hated Transformers 2. For the first time at the end of the movie, I saw their credits. You know what I said to myself? I said, shit, it's not Michael Bay's fault because they gave him the toys and said, here, make a movie.
Nah, hell no. That was terrible.
Right? They didn't. Blade 1 followed somewhat the comic book.
Yeah.
Blade 2 stepped away from it, and Blade 3 did as well. This is how you know it wasn't Marvel. The one thing about Marvel themselves, when they're behind a movie, and you can say that with the even though Sony made it, but now we have the partnership with Marvel and the Spider Universe movies is they're now more what's the word canon with the fan base. Yeah. They know they can put something out that has to be relatable to either their comic books or their cartoons, or their movie cartoons, and they stick with that, and that's what makes them who they are. They don't just hit one genre; they hit every genre of their genre, which is Marvel. This ain't a Marvel movie, man. It ain't. So anybody says this movie is a bad Marvel movie, and I get we just named them because we want to say it's the character, so we put them there. But Marvel had nothing to do with this movie.
I get that, but I just call it. I just say it because it's a Marvel character. Now I don't blame. Right, I can't blame Marvel for doing this, but it just does seem that it just so seems that every time that a bad movie comes out and it's like either Marvel related,
they say it.
They're like it's the end of the world. Oh my god!
DC. Fans are just come on, everybody, say with me on the count of 3. Fans are fickle.
Fickle. They are fickle because y'all. All right, this is gonna be my only rant.
We about to leave.
You motherfuckers wait.
Black, brown, and white PG. What happened?
Yo motherfuckers, I've been hawking this shit for a goddamn week. You motherfuckers sat y'all asses down watching a goddamn thing of chair reveals for a whole goddamn 2 hours and wanted to if you was dead. You was saying that watching chair reveals for a movie that's coming out next year. They didn't show no trailer, they didn't show no leak. All they showed was Robert Downey Jr. walking his ass down and sitting down and revealing everybody else. And we waited 2 hours for the reveal.
That's y'all fault.
I mean, I did it. I was on Threads just like refreshing.
We gonna get out of here, y'all. Thanks for watching the Wolfpack UnpopuLAR Review. This was the trailer for or movie review for Blade Trinity. But before we go, ready to say we got something for everybody. You come check us out as the Daredevil show starts to ramp up and conclude with the Trail of Destiny, watching Daredevil. Then you saw it here at Millie Blaze Review Show every every Thursday, 7 o'clock. Federation Tuesdays is coming back this week, but then Curious Bastards and Glorious Bastards. The Challenge Review Show is back, and you're tuned in. You're locked into the Wolfpack. Something for everybody. 2 thumbs up and a thumbs down. He gave a dark thumbs down and a rant. And we even had an argument about iOS versus Marvel because that's how bad and what we thought about this movie. But hey, go watch it. We're out of here, y'all.
First, he faced their gods. Then he battled their demons. But all that was only the beginning.
He's come back.
Vampire final solution.
You can't win this war alone.
Who the hell are you people?
My father meant for us to help you.
Whistler's daughter. What the hell makes you think you know about hunting vampires?
Just for starters, I used to be one.
Blade Trinity.
There's nothing stopping them now.
It's me.